Good morning. It is Thursday, July the 21st. I'm Shane Seeley, and this is the CBC Morning Report. We start with some big news in the world of sports. Barbados, well, we have two finalists in the ongoing World Athletic Championships in Eugene, Oregon. Top Barbados female quarter miler Shade Williams is into the final of the women's 400 meters. Last night in the semis, well, Williams was fourth fastest overall, clocking 50.12 seconds. Meanwhile, top Bajan male 400-meter runner Jonathan Jones is also through to the men's equivalent. Jones was third in Heat 3, clocking 44.78 to be sixth fastest going into the final. We'll have more on those two performances later in our sporting news. Now, in the first couple days of this week, as we look at what has been happening with COVID-19, Barbados has recorded over 800 new cases. On Monday alone, 400 cases were detected out of 1,083 tests conducted by the Best dos Santos Public Health Laboratory. And on Tuesday, 991 tests were done, revealing 411 new cases. The positivity rate is also climbing from 37% to 41% over those 2 days alone. Now, there are concerns about the new, very highly transmissible Omicron variants that are circulating in the region, those being BA4, BA5, and then there's BA2.75. So is this the beginning of yet another outbreak? Well, to talk a bit more about this and what is happening in our space is Dr. Linda Williams, the president of the Barbados Association of Medical Practitioners, joining me live here on the Morning Report. Dr. Williams, good to have you on.
Hi, Shane. Good to be here again.
Yes, talk to us about what we are seeing over 2 days, 800 plus cases. Is this the beginning of possibly another outbreak?
Well, the Caribbean Public Health Agency has now stated that they believe that BA4 and BA5, these highly transmissible variants, are now in the region. And we know that in other parts of the world that these particular subvariants of the Omicron variant of COVID-19 are beginning to dominate. We see in the more developed countries not only cases going up, but because they're more transmissible, you also will get more hospitalizations among the vulnerable population. So it is a little early to say, but we would have to keep a close eye on that situation in Barbados and in the Caribbean, because of course we are not immune or any different from what is happening in the rest of the world. And we also have to be very careful, given that this is our festive season. And we know that because something is more transmissible, it will also reach those who are more vulnerable and who have compromised immune systems. And they are the ones who will then may pay the price for this illness. I also want us to not focus so much only on people who die from the illness and therefore decide that this is mild and nothing to worry about. We also have quite a few people who are suffering long COVID symptoms. So there's a lot of morbidity and sickness in general. And so it is in everyone's interest to not ignore what is happening now.
There are concerns about the levels of immunity of our population now to these new variants. And looking at what is happening in those other spaces where the variant has been detected too, like the UK and the US, they have been seeing a significant increase in the number of cases. And coupled with that, there has been a significant ease in our protocols in response to these viruses. What are your predictions for what will happen and what needs to be done now to really contain the spread, if it can be contained at all?
Well, in Canada, for example, they are recognizing that they are in their 7th wave, and that there's been a call even from citizens to put back on mask mandates because all of the restrictions were dropped. I don't know if the appetite for that is going to be the same here, But obviously, eventually, if we have a large surge in cases, then you have to look at what can be done on a national scale. What I try to encourage people to do is for your own personal health. Now, we have to take responsibility for our own health. And just as we tell you as doctors, to restrict certain foods because they're unhealthy, to stop smoking because it causes cancer, so we also have to tell you the public health, remind you of the public health restrictions with regard to infectious diseases. And that includes wearing your mask, sanitizing, and making sure that you are a safe distance from people. And that is the only way that we can prevent the spread of infection along with vaccines. And we have to remember that vaccines are still very effective, but there has been some vaccine escape by these variants now, but there's also natural immunity escape by these variants as well. So your vaccine is still a very good protection against severe illness and hospitalization. But the vaccines do not, I repeat, have never claimed to prevent anyone from getting COVID-19, just from being severely ill and dying.
I know we have seen 400 and then 411 cases. Do you think there could possibly be a whole lot more COVID-19 cases on the ground here?
What I keep saying is don't focus on a daily figure. Look at the trends as they go up over 7 days. Look at the trends and where we're going in terms of positivity rate. What we know right now is that people are not doing the level of testing that we did in the past. A lot of people are doing only rapid tests. And what I want to encourage people is to do the PCR test, because if you do get complications and you do need emergency treatment, it makes it so much easier for you to get that treatment and to come into the system if you're known PCR positive. But there are lots of people who are not doing those tests, so this only represents a portion of the people who are infected. And because we're not doing any other kind of routine surveillance, we can only base it on those who come forward for testing that there is an increase.
Well, we will monitor those trends over the next few days, and of course we will reach back out to you, Dr. Linda Williams, to get some analysis and some updates from BAMP. And of course you always offer advice on what we need to do, but please stay safe until the next time we chat here on the Morning Report.
Thank you, Shane. Have a good day.
Yes, appreciate your time. Dr. Linda Williams is the president of the Barbados Association of Medical Practitioners, speaking exclusively to us here on the Morning Report. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll take another look at those COVID-19 numbers, and we'll see what's happening internationally as well. So as you heard a bit earlier, for a second straight day, Barbados recorded over 400 new COVID-19 cases. The number for Tuesday stood at 411. The Best Dos Santos Public Health Lab made the revelation after conducting 991 tests. Of the positive cases, 59 people were under the age of 18, while 352 were 18 years and older. There were 49 people in isolation facilities, while 2,122 people were in home isolation. The Omicron variant of COVID-19 continues to be the dominant variant of concern in Trinidad and Tobago as well. The Chief Medical Officer there, Dr. Roshan Parashram, provided the latest statistics during the Ministry of Health's virtual media conference.
There's no evidence yet that BA5 is more severe, which is a good signal in terms of clinical outcome, meaning that it's more transmissible, but is not more dangerous in terms of causing more deaths or causing more hospitalizations, at least at this early stage. BA 2.75 seems to have a growth advantage over BA5, but more data is required to verify this fact. Next slide. So this slide is just to highlight what I said before. So we would have had BA1, BA2, BA4, and BA5, and just some general characteristics. I won't go into all of them, but for BA5, growth advantage over BA2, and current data does not suggest a difference in severity of disease outcome. So this brings me, if you could go forward, the last slide. So the last slide gives an update of what we have circulating in Trinidad and Tobago, which is very important. So to date, Omicron continues to be the dominant variant of concern in Trinidad. A couple of weeks ago, we would have had in our sequencing one Delta as well. So there seems to be a very low presence of Delta in circulation, at least detected in Trinidad. BA2 of the Omicron sublineages remains the dominant for now at 45.5% of the samples that were recently taken. BA4 was detected prior to BA5, but only accounts for 9.1% of the recent Omicron samples. And as we said, BA5 seems to be the most infectious of the lot and was detected in 41% of last week's sample, noting that it was just first detected only a week prior to that. So it seems to be gaining speed and overtaking BA2 and BA4 in terms of the national picture and the international picture.
The Ukrainian First Lady, Olena Zelensky-Long, has made clear she has no personal craving for the spotlight, but yesterday she stood in the U.S. Capitol and made the case for more U.S. air defense systems to block Russian missiles. This as hostilities continued between Russia and Ukraine.
A temporary administration in the Russia-controlled region says Ukraine struck the Dnipro River bridge with U.S.-supplied rockets. The bridge is one of only two that Russia can use to supply or withdraw its forces in the area. Well, in other developments, Ukraine's First Lady has urged the U.S. Congress to provide more weapons and assistance to help in the war effort. Olena Zelenska appealed to members of Congress during an emotional 15-minute address in Washington. She showed videos of children who'd been killed or injured and spoke about the situation inside the country. The U.S. has provided $8 billion in security assistance to Ukraine, and members of Congress indicated that they were ready to authorize more.
6:20 now, let's go over to Pearson and hear what he has for you on Thursday, this Thursday edition of Morning Barbados. What are you looking at today, Pearson?
Well, today we'll tell you a little bit about what the UWI Open Campus is doing, because you have benefited significantly from the programs offered there. Now it's your turn to give back. How? We'll share the details with you. Also today, as the CAC Games, the championships approach, we'll meet two more of the Barbadian athletes who are preparing to represent us at those championships. We'll also meet one young person today who has been able to live through her existence, really, and now she's passionate about the environment. I can't wait to tell her story when you join me at 6:30. Those and a whole lot more straight ahead. Back to you, Shane.
Thank you, Pearson. Well, coming up here on the Morning Report, we will be telling you what are the latest moves happening in the tourism sector as they get ready for the winter tourist season. And of course, we will show you the highlights from the World Championships in Oregon as Barbados' athletes rise to the challenge. Details of these stories and more up next. Small hoteliers in Barbados will be approaching government about recapitalizing an investment fund as they seek to modernize their plans. This was revealed by the newly elected chairman of Intimate Hotels of Barbados, Mahmood Patel, as he was speaking during the agency's annual general meeting. Our Sharika Griffith has more.
Aging hotel plants in need of renovation, the ease of doing business, and reduced sea and airlift capacity are among the challenges facing members of the Intimate Hotels Group. Chairman Mahmood Patel, who has been re-elected to serve another 2 years, says while there have been some successes, there's still a long way to go to make strategic transformational changes. He's focused in on the Small Hotels Investment Fund, or SHIF, which provides financing to members for refurbishing and expanding their hotel properties.
IHB hoteliers are indebted approximately 40 million Barbados dollars to the SHIF fund. Unfortunately, the fund has not performed as well as overall payments have been tardy.
Mr. Patel is, however, hopeful the fund operated by the Enterprise Growth Fund Limited can be recapitalized.
Because the majority of the members were paying before COVID. And I think that's something that I would like to throw out there. How do we sit down and fix this problem for IHB members? We need to recapitalize. We need to reinvent our inventory, our plant. We have to find a constructive and creative way to get out of this hole. And we are hoping that once the economic analysis is finally completed, that we can have a conversation with EGFL, Ministry of Finance, to maybe find a fiscal space for IHB in the BEST program, and then to, constructively look at our debt challenges.
Tourism and International Transport Minister Senator Lisa Cummins, who was present at the organization's annual general meeting, revealed that government has been looking at recapitalizing the fund. However, she's urging hoteliers to do their part to ensure its success.
Even if government were to find the space, the fiscal space to capitalize new funds, including the SHIF fund, there has to also be a responsibility to come from everyone to repay the funds that are made available, so that we are not only benefiting ourselves, but we are allowing and creating space for others who will come behind in those 5 and 7 year intervals, or new entrants into the market to also access those funds. It is simply not acceptable to be able to benefit from funds like SHIF and not repay those funds, because you are damaging the sector that we represent.
Sporting news now, and Barbados has 2 finalists at the ongoing World Athletic Championships. Top Barbados female quarter-miler Shade Williams is into the final of the women's 400 meter at the World Athletics Championships in Eugene, Oregon. Last night in the semifinals, Williams was second in her heat 3 to be an automatic qualifier, and the 4th fastest overall, clocking 50.12 seconds. The winner was Maridi Pauline of the Dominican Republic with 49.98 seconds. Let's take a look at the race.
Shade Williams, 4 times the Barbadian champion, second in Rabat in a season's best 50.74. Cherokee Young, the world number 2 from Jamaica, in 2. Paulino, the world number 1, goes in 3. Maroskaite 4, Sada Williams 5, Talitha Diggs 6, the US champion, Gomez 7, Pippi of Great Britain in 8. Pippi has gone off very fast, running scared, undoubtedly. She doesn't know what's going on behind her. Diggs has gone off smoothly, 3rd to left as we see them heading down the back straight. Paulino just moving up on Maroskaite, 4th from right. Paulino in 3, probably leads at the moment, although very aggressive first 200 from Ama Pippi of Great Britain into the second bend. This is where the stagger unwinds, and now they begin to make their moves. And really good running there from the Bayesian. Sada Williams in the yellow vest. Paulino looking strong in lane 3. No sign yet of Cherokee Young of Jamaica in lane 2. She's got some hard running to do, but at the moment she's nowhere near a qualifying position. Good running too from Diggs. Talitha Diggs, the youngster, just 19, moving through the USA for 3rd place, but a win there for Paulino from Sada Williams of Barbados. And Diggs taking 3rd place, the winning time. Just confirming that. 49.98, just conveniently dipping under the 50-second barrier. Now, Sarah Williams, 50.12. And we think that Diggs in third place will not qualify with that. No, 50.84. So Diggs does not squeeze into the final with that. The two non-automatic qualifiers are Stephanie Ann McPherson of Jamaica and Anna Kiel-Basinska of Poland.
The women's final is set for Friday at 10:15 p.m. Meanwhile, top Bajan male 400 runner Jonathan Jones is also through to the men's equivalent. Jones was third in his heat 3 as well, clocking 44.78 to be the 6th fastest going into the final. He was also the fastest of the 2 non-automatic qualifiers. Well, that's a look at sports. Let's go to weather now. Temperature is 26.7 degrees Celsius on the outside. We had some overnight showers. It's partly cloudy still. It's feeling like 27 degrees Celsius as the relative humidity stands at 85%. The barometric pressure 1013.4 millibars, and those winds are pretty brisk today coming out of the east at 43 kilometers per hour. There will be a high tide this morning at 24 minutes after 10. The low will be in the afternoon at 14 minutes to 4. Those seas are smooth to moderate in open water. Swells are between 1 and 2 meters and holding steady. Today in Barbados, it will be partly sunny with a few brief isolated light showers. And tonight, it will be mostly clear. And here's a look at the international weather forecast. That's it for the Thursday edition of the CBC Morning Report. I'm Shane Seeley. I'll see you at 7 with headline news. Up next is Pearson Bowen with Mornin Barbados.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning, Barbados, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, 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 morning.
Morning to you indeed, and welcome to today. Today is Thursday, July the 21st, 2022. I'm Pearson Bowen, welcoming all of you here, there, and everywhere. Thank you so much for always joining us on our streams on YouTube and Facebook. We encourage you always to go back and look at the show there if there's anything you might have missed, and always interact with us on our Facebook comment section as well. We love to hear from you all the time. Now, coming up today, we'll get to meet the 2 monarchs already decided from the Scotiabank Junior Monarch competition. Both of them will come by today. We want to hear their journey and their success as well, and we'll share with you a little bit of their performances as well. We'll meet some exceptional young people, one of who is a photographer, videographer, designer, graphic designer, everything. He is all one thing indeed, and certainly we want to meet with him a little later on. Plus an opportunity for you if you've taken that chance to be a part of the Solaray, Zand, Nature's Discount, Woolworth in association with CBC competition. We're going to be calling one of you today because one of you is going to receive yourself some uniforms. So look out for that call, switch your phones on and stand by for that. Of course, opportunities for you to unscramble your letters and to win also with N-Pure water filtration. Also today we meet a young man from Africa who has a focal zoning point on Africa as well as he continues to raise attention on the environment. He's one of the Hay ambassadors who will join to tell his story. And those 2 champions, really, they are literal local champions, and they're going to be a part of the CAC championship that's coming up at the end of the month. We'll talk to them too. But let's get started today by looking at the work of the UWI Open Campus. They go by the mandate that they're opening doors to life-changing learning. And so they're having a big celebration coming up, an opportunity for you to give back. And we're joined now by the Pro Vice Chancellor, Dr. Francis Severin. Dr. Severin, good morning to you.
Morning to you.
Good.
Pearson, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. How do you do?
I am fine. You know, it's quite a privilege to be on your morning show. I like the sound of it. It's very Caribbean, morning. We tend to say morning rather than good morning, you know,
Exactly.
because the good is assumed. So thank you for having me.
You're welcome indeed. You know, as I started to search social media just this morning, just casually browsing, I saw someone celebrating the success of completing a course with the UWI Open Campus, which tells me that you're still delivering excellent learning for folks who take your programs there. And that has to be celebrated because you're not only offering the Open Campus in Barbados, but across the region in a whole range of services. Let's hear a little bit about what you do offer at the Open Campus.
Yes, well, as you quite rightly said, Pearson, the Open Campus is across the region. And one of the things that we're very proud of is that we are legitimately and authentically the campus which makes the University of the West Indies really regional in the sense that we meet people where they are. And given the fact that our strength is in online, people across bandwidths, so they don't have to come to us. We go to them. We meet them in their hamlets, their villages, their communities, their towns, and a range of programs, graduate programs, undergraduate programs, certificate programs, including what is very popular to many, and you have about 16,000 people in those kinds of programs, continuing and professional education, all in the effort and the endeavor of increasing access to our Caribbean people.
And that access has really afforded lots of Caribbean people the opportunity to self-develop. But it comes at a cost. It comes at a cost. And I just don't want people to forget the fact that there is a cost to doing so. Some people just can't make that cost, but they are thirsting for the opportunity to learn. How does the Open Campus make it possible for them to do so, those who are faced with that?
Well, and this is exactly why I'm here, to speak about the social media fund. But I'm happy you raised, Pearson, the matter of cost, because a rudimentary and fundamental fact that I often make whenever I speak at such public fora, is that the cost of not hitting our people is several times more than the cost of educating them. You see the point?
Yes, yes.
Okay? And that has fallen, I think, tragically, especially on our young men. And if you look at the proportions, it's still very much 80% participation by female as opposed to 20% participation by males across the board in several subject areas. In the University of the West Indies on a whole, when you think of what you might call the last remaining bastion of male domination, it is engineering. But even that has shifted quite a lot. So I believe the first thing to say is that the Open Campus makes it possible, or more possible, than going to a terrestrial or physical campus. Why? You forgo the cost of leaving your home, travel. You forgo the cost of living and gaining board and lodge in another environment, which might actually have a higher cost of living than your own. But very importantly, we keep the family together, because the separation thing of crossing the water, leaving your abode and going elsewhere, that separation can hurt. And when you consider our graduates and the various cohorts, what I think is called the demography of our cohorts, 4% of them are 24 and under, generally. Now, if you look at the ranges, 25 to 34 years of age, 42%, where the bulk of them are. 35 to 44 years of age, 36%. So you're talking about from 25 years of age to 44. This is the bulk. And if you look at these ages, this is the real working age. This is the age at which several young people are starting families and that kind of thing. If you can keep these people in the home, you keep the family unit together.
Yes.
So there is a boon in that.
You know, oftentimes I don't think people actually measure the opportunity, the cost of opportunity lost. We would live in regret and remorse, but nonetheless, there is a cost to not doing it, and you live in regret, and that's burdensome for a lot of people. But you know, the event that's coming up on the 30th of July is a very special event that allows the open campus now to be able to assist those who find themselves struggling financially in some way. Talk to me a little bit about what we can expect. We have the social media-thon.
Yes, and Pearson, you know, the COVID has affected people in more ways than you know. I mean, it's the cost, speaking of cost, is imponderable. People have suffered, breadwinners suffered. People have passed on tragically. They have lost those who would have helped them. And so we recognize how difficult it has been for students to afford the cost of education. And as a result, as part of our overall endowment fund, you know, which has been anchored, really, the brainchild of Mrs. Sandra Griffith Carrington, our Open Campus Alumni Officer, we have decided that we're going to have this social media-thon, a very, if you will, novel sort of approach, where on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, and on YouTube, on Saturday, July 30th at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Caribbean time, 8:30, we will have, and let me call it, not only, you know, it will not only be talk, but there will be entertainment. And the great thing about it is that we have managed to have two famous, well-known, and high-ranking UWI alumni as our co-patrons. This we are very proud of. See them on the screen. His Excellency Sir Rodney Williams, Governor General of Antigua and Barbuda, and Her Excellency the Most Honorable Dame Sandra Mason. And you know, Mason, our president right here in Barbados, she was among the first cohort of students over 50 years ago from the Faculty of Law. So we're talking about excellent pedigree, Pearson. And to have these two heads of state coming to support us and to pledge and to encourage others to pledge, I think it is a wonderful occasion. Our Vice Chancellor, Professor Hilary Beckles, will you know, provide endorsements. Honorable Mr. John Grisenu, who is the Prime Minister of Belize and the lead CARICOM, you know, of
the chair of CARICOM, yes.
The chair of CARICOM. Her Excellency Ambassador Dr. June Summer, who is our campus council chair, you know. Well, I will, of course, as you know, you would expect, bring, you know, greetings and so on. Her Excellency Dame Paulette Louisi, a name that you know, another graduate of ours. She was Governor General of St. Lucia. You know, we'll hear stories from the students, and those are the ones I have to tell you, quite honestly, I look forward to hearing, because when you hear these stories from our students, you really are very touched. The challenges that they surmount and have to overcome in order to get where they are. And they do overcome. You know, one of the greatest things, you know, for me is going to graduation ceremonies and seeing all of these, that's in the time of the physical graduation ceremony, but the virtual as well. Seeing all of these people from all walks of life.
Yes.
And our Vice Chancellor says that we are, in terms of our ranking, an elite university, but we are not elitist. We're inclusive. Because the people you see are not people from the upper class, you know? It is people from all of life, you know? So we have a wide range. We have promotion from our alumni, we have promotion from our UWI Stat ambassadors, from our UWI Pelican awardees and so on. But there's great entertainment as well from across the region. Because as I say, the open campus, like the University of West Indies, is significantly, it is pan-Caribbean.
Yes.
And so Mr. Mari Banks from Anguilla, Mr. Vier Corner from Anguilla. Of course, you know, and I have to say that I had the awesome privilege of meeting these two gentlemen, Dr. Stetson Wiltshire red plastic bag.
Yes.
And Dr. the Most Honorable Anthony Carter, Mighty
Yes.
Gabi.
Yes.
I grew up on hearing those songs when I was a student at Keville. I was reminding Mighty Gabi of some of his songs that I heard in those days.
Right.
But they're going to render, some,
Right.
appropriate songs. We
So
have Mikel Henderson.
So there's a
So
good
on,
there's
yeah.
a good combination of presentations on one's
Good
experience and then entertainment as well. And we want folks to know it happens on the 30th of July. You can begin to make your
30th of
contributions
July.
now,
Yeah.
but while they're in the social media, it's like a mediathon. As we note on TV, it's the same thing
Definitely.
where you can pledge and you can pledge, but most of all, please follow through on your pledges. And for more information, where can we go to get more details on how we can be a part of the mediathon, the social mediathon?
Yes. Well, we have our, and I can give you an email address.
Sure.
Open Philanthropy, OpenPhilanthropy at alumni.uwi.edu. Open Philanthropy at alumni.uwi.edu. So
Right.
this is the major email address, and our staff will respond in that. And we always have to note that no gift is too small. And I want to emphasize that. No one should feel that, well, I don't have much to give. No, you can see it's biblical.
Yes.
Anything you give is quite, because it's going to a worthy cause. And I think that is enough.
Yes.
Comfort.
I can't concur enough. So folks, if you have something, you can pledge, because it's developing
Definitely.
the peoples of the region as well through the UWI Open Campus. Dr. Severin, thank you so much for joining us. Much success with this
Definitely.
upcoming social media-thon.
I am so pleased to have been on, and I should just say finally that the target is US $500,000 or $1 million Barbados dollars.
Yes,
You have been a great host. I thank you so much, and I thank your radio station for really accommodating us.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Dr. Francis Severin, the Pro Vice Chancellor of the UWI Open Campus, indeed reminding you of the social media-thon coming up on July the 30th, 6:30 in the evening on social media platforms. It's left now to all of us to really give to the development of our peoples of the region through the endowment fund. Thank you so much, sir, and have a good day.
Have a blessed day.
Likewise. We shall take a break right here, folks, and we'll be coming back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning to you.
We're 12 minutes now to go to 7 o'clock as we turn our attention to the upcoming CAC Championships here in Barbados at the Lloyd Erskine Sandiford Centre. We're meeting two of Barbados' best who will be representing us then, Lovette Shepherd and Tyrell Ford. Good morning, both of you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Lovette, we'll start with you. You are into the body fitness competition. That means that you have to start looking lean and fit and all ready to perform. Are you ready?
Yes, I am. I've been ready since Nationals. It wasn't much of a break there.
How are you doing? What are you doing to get ready? To be really sure that you are ready?
Well, training, obviously, Nationals was only like a few weeks ago, so there wasn't much break in between. Had a little taste here and there, and then just back on it, just keeping my cardio high. Maintaining my same meal plan as I was on for Nationals, and yeah, just ready to bring the best package I have right now.
Is this going to be your second time at the CAC Championships?
Yes, please. I did a CAC last year in El Salvador, and I was placed fourth. That was my first time ever competing, so yes, this will be my second CAC.
So what have you learned from last year into this year that you think you will definitely go beyond fourth place and certainly perhaps win? What do you think you now know better?
Well, for the last year, my body has transformed so much. Obviously, last year that was my first show. I didn't have much idea what to do. I've been learning how my body responds to different food over the last year. So I've put a lot of work in since last year to this year, and I've brought a much better package to Nationals. So definitely, I'm looking forward to bringing even better package to CAC. Obviously it's not a lot of time between Nationals and CAC here, but just adding on brought to Nationals to this show, I'm definitely expecting a better outcome from last year. Definitely.
As are we. Tyrell, now you two are no stranger to winning. You've been winning multiple times, especially the tall class category. How are you preparing for the championships this year?
Yes, I'm preparing it in very much the same way. Keeping the diet from Nationals the same way, as well as the cardio, and training 6 days a week, getting ready.
6 days a week? Does that feel like a lot?
Well, to be honest, I've always been an athlete from secondary school, so it's pretty much the same thing I've been doing my whole life.
So what do you do over those 6 days that would help to enhance your performance on the 30th of July?
Well, normally I break down my workouts, from different body parts. So from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it'll be legs, chest, back, legs, shoulders. So it's not as though it's a full body workout every single day, I focus on different body parts and get those to the best they can be.
I've learned that one of the things as a men's physique competitor, you have to be mindful of a slim waist, a tiny waist, so to speak. Is that a critical component? And if so, how do you do that?
Yes, it's absolutely critical. You want to enhance what they call your V-taper as much as possible. So you want the comparison between your shoulders and your waist, that ratio to be as wide as possible. You want to have that V shape. So I would say that's really the diet part really comes in, because a smaller waist is really from as much body fat as possible. So that is really the goal there, to try to get as lean as possible to enhance that shape.
Have you ever been tempted to go beyond being just a simple body fitness into perhaps men's physique, into perhaps becoming a bodybuilder? Because, I mean, it can be so close when you look at it.
Yeah, and it's funny because many people say this to me all the time. They think that I could easily make the transition.
Yeah.
But I feel like my body type is almost like the best and perfect for men's physique. In my opinion, I think bodybuilding, to me, I would have to, go a little too further than I'm willing to go. I think men's physique is the most comfortable place for me.
Have you looked at the competitors who are also going to be in your category, who are coming for the CAC Championships? Have you had a chance to study them and to get a sense of where they are now, so that you can even peak better when you see them on the 30th?
Well, usually I don't necessarily try to compare myself to the other people competing. I try to beat the person I was at the last show. So if I believe I can come better than I was at the last show, then that's giving my best foot forward. Because, there's no telling who's going to show up on the day. But if I can produce a better package than I had at the previous show, then I know I did a good job.
Lavette, something tells me you have the same opinion, right? That you're checking for the competitors, you're just focusing on you, right?
No, definitely not. Yeah. As an athlete, that's what you do. You just focus on yourself and trying to be better than your last competition, better than you was before. Period.
Yes. How important is crowd support to you, Lavette?
It is important. It's very important. But for me, I know the kind of work I've put in. So I'm usually very quiet. I stick to myself, and I'm someone who on the day just like to show up and put my best foot forward. So I'm the one who works on the off course. I will work on the cover, and then I'll just show up. But for me, having my friends and family there, yeah, it's very important to me.
Yeah, you're one of those quiet competitors. She just sneaks in right there. Woof! Yes. She's there. She turns up indeed. Yeah. That's back to you, Tyrell. Talk to me a little bit about what you think we should as Barbados, because we're coming in our numbers. We're coming to watch you guys at the CAC Championships at the Lord Erskine Sandiford Centre. There's going to be a weigh-in the day before that will determine whether or not you go into the championships. Am I reading it correctly?
Well, the weigh-in is more or less you making sure that everything you have for your category is correct. So, for example, if you're a bodybuilder, you know, you have to weigh in at a certain weight to fit your class that you want to.
Right.
If you're doing men's physique, they want to check that the pants, so you're wearing on the right pants, and so on and so forth. So, yeah, so it's just making sure that the athletes who are planning for their various categories are completely ready to compete.
So even the pants can disqualify you?
Yes. This sport is very superficial. So your presentation is extremely important, and they have the criteria for all aspects of it. So you have to be really dot your I's and cross your T's with regards to your presentation.
Indeed so. Well, I know both of you have done so very well. You're both champions for us. You're going to be champions again for us on the 30th of July at the Lord Erskine Sandiford Centre when Barbados hosts the 2022 CAC Championships. We're looking forward to applauding you and making beer noise because we got our winners right in front of us. Lavette Shepherd and Tyrell Ford, thank you so much for joining us, and best of luck going forward into the finals. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. All right, we're going to take a break here, ladies and gentlemen. When we come back, we're getting someone on the phone because one of you is already a winner and we want to tell you about it. So keep your phone on. We're calling you in just a minute.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
2 minutes now to go to 7 o'clock. Let's see. Now, you know, you've heard about this. You've heard about the back to school opportunity afforded to all of you once you do your shopping at Nature's Discount, Woolworth, Solaray, Zand, and it's in association with the CBC. We already have some people who've entered, and you have still some time to continue entering. It's all part of the promotion to help you make things easier as you head back to get your children ready for back to school. We already have a winner. So let's see if we can get them on the phone. You let me know when we have them on the phone, folks, and we'll tell them what they have won, because many of you have the opportunity to win so much. Compliments of Woolworth, Nature's Discount, and of course in association with the CBC. So have you done your shopping? Have you heard about the promotion? Do you know what it's all about? Do you know where to go to do your shopping? You spend X amount at certain locations, these locations, and you drop in your entry forms and you get a chance to win some uniforms and a whole lot more. So let's see. Tell me quickly if we get the person on the phone. We're trying to reach a woman. Yes, put it to me. Put it to me. Let's see here now.
Hello.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
I'm okay.
Hi, is this Trina?
Yes, it is.
Trina, how are you?
Are you alright?
This is Joseph. I ain't see you in a long time or hear you, girl. How you doing?
It's who?
Joseph.
Who's Joseph?
Trina, you forget me already. We went to school together at some point, didn't we?
No.
You don't remember Joseph from school? All right, Trina. Is this Trina Licorice?
Yeah.
Trina Licorice, you're talking to Pearson Bowen on Morning Barbados at the moment. By the way, you're live on the TV. We can't see you, obviously. But Trina, you have some little ones who go to St. Bernard's Primary?
My daughter.
Ah, how old is she?
She's 9.
She's 9 years old. And have you done most of your shopping in preparation for back to school, or you haven't yet started?
I have started.
What have you bought so far?
Per school book.
Oh, only the books?
Yes, please.
So there's so much more that you would like to get done before September, right?
Definitely.
And I know how difficult it can be, how costly it can be to outfit your children for school. So is she moving, and she's growing into another, what class is she going into now?
Class 3.
Wouldn't it be wonderful to know that you could give her some school uniforms that are brand new?
Yes.
What are you being so reserved about what happened, Trina?
I am a little in shock.
You're in shock? Why are you in shock?
Because
Trina?
I thought this was a prank.
I wouldn't prank you. I am too angelic to prank people, Trina. So listen, here's what's going to happen, Trina. Trina, the news for you this morning is, Trina Licorice, you have won yourself 5 school uniforms for your daughter.
Wow. Thank you.
That's the best you can say. Wow, thank you. You're welcome, Trina. Well done indeed. Thank you so much for entering the competition. And your daughter now has 5 school uniforms, at least 1 for every day, or you can find a way to fit them in as your best you can. Of course, someone will be contacting you to make arrangements to collect your winnings, all right?
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome, Trina Licorice, and thank you too for answering your phone. Thank you.
All right.
All right, there she goes. She's our first winner we've announced. We have 2 more to announce tomorrow, so you have to be tuned in tomorrow for that. We'll take a break right here. When we come back, we'll update you on the news. Now, let's get an update on the news. Once again, here's Shane Seeley.
Thank you, Pearson. Here's your headline news for this Thursday morning. Let's look at what is happening in our news. The Wyndham Grand Hotel under construction is expected to open in a matter of months. This news came from the Prime Minister last night as she addressed St. Philip Speaks. The property is being constructed on the site of the old Sam Lord's Castle. We'll have more details on this story and other stories coming out of St. Philip Speaks in our CBC Newsday. In other news making headlines this morning, for a second straight day, the country has recorded over 400 new COVID-19 cases. The number for Tuesday, well, that stood at 411. The Best Dos Santos Public Health Laboratory would have conducted 991 tests at that time. These cases involved 200 males and 211 females. Of the positive cases, 59 individuals were under the age of 18 and 352 were 18 years and older. There were 49 people in isolation facilities, while 2,122 people were in home isolation. The other big news this morning is in sports, as Barbados have 2 finalists at the ongoing World Athletic Championships. Barbados's top female quarter miler, Shade Williams, is into the final of the women's 400 meters. Last night in the semis, Williams was second in Heat 3 to be an automatic qualifier, and she clocked the fourth fastest time overall, that being 50.12 seconds. Let's take a look at the race.
Sada Williams, 4 times the Barbadian champion, second in Rabat in a season's best, 50.74. Cherokee Young, the world number 2 from Jamaica, in 2. Paulino, the world number 1, goes in 3. Maroskaite 4, Sada Williams 5, Talitha Diggs 6, the US champion, Gomez 7, Pippi of Great Britain in 8. Pippi has gone off very fast, running scared, undoubtedly. She doesn't know what's going on behind her. Diggs has gone off smoothly, third to left as we see them heading down the back straight. Paulino just moving up on Maroskaite, fourth from right. Paulino in 3, probably leads at the moment, although very aggressive first 200 from Ama Pippi of Great Britain into the second bend. This is where the stagger unwinds, and now they begin to make their moves. And really good running there from the Bayesian. Sada Williams in the yellow vest. Paulino looking strong in lane 3. No sign yet of Cherokee Young of Jamaica in lane 2. She's got some hard running to do, but at the moment she's nowhere near a qualifying position. Good running too from Diggs. Talitha Diggs, the youngster, just 19, moving through the USA for third place, but a win there for Paulino from Sada Williams of Barbados. And Diggs taking third place, the winning time. Just confirming that. 49.98, just conveniently dipping under the 50-second barrier. Now, Sada Williams, 50.12, and we think that Diggs in third place will not qualify with that. No, 50.84. So Diggs does not squeeze into the final with that. The 2 non-automatic qualifiers are Stephanie Ann McPherson of Jamaica and Anna Kiel-Basinska of Poland.
So that women's final is set for Friday. Meanwhile, Jonathan Jones, the top 400-meter male runner for Barbados, is through to the finals of that race as well. Jones was third in his heat, clocking 44.78 to be 6th fastest overall going into that final.
Jonathan Jones goes in lane 3, national record holder for Barbados in 400, 800 and 15. Litvin in 1, Borlée in 2, Jones in 3, Van Niekerk in 4, Bonavaccia 5, Allison 6, McWala 7, and Haydock Wilson in 8. Final, semi-final in the men's 400 metres, and that was a fast start from champion Allison of the USA, but not as fast as Wade Van Niekerk. Wade Van Niekerk will know he has to go flat out here. He's not in world record shape, but what shape is he in? Alex Haydock Wilson doing well to hold off Isaac McWilder at the moment. Champion Allison blasted through this first 200, but he's going to look over his shoulder and see that the world record holder from South Africa, Wade Van Niekerk, is going even faster. Wade Van Niekerk is an uncharted territory in the 2022 season. This is his 3rd race. Can he hold it together, or has he gone too hard? Wade Van Niekerk starting to tread water. He's under pressure from Jones on his inside, from Allison on the outside. But Wade Van Niekerk finds something to hold off the athlete to his inside. Couldn't do anything about champion Allison on the outside. 44.71.
Good running from champion Allison. 44.71 there, just to outdip Van Niekerk, 44.75. Jonathan Jones will go through as the fastest of the non-automatic qualifiers, the Bayesian, 44.78. And Christopher Taylor of Jamaica will be the other with a season's best of 44.97.
An amazing run there by Jonathan Jones and, of course, Shade Williams. We'll be cheering on for them come tomorrow night. Right here on TV, you'll get to see the action. And that's our headline news for this morning. I'm Shane Seeley. It's back over to you, Pearson.
Shane, thank you. Our time is 8 minutes after 7. We'll take a break here. And when we come back, one of you gets the chance to win some water with NPure water filtration. Stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
So it's 9 minutes now after the hour of 7 o'clock. Time for you to win with NPure water filtration. Simple, simple. We'll ask a question and then you'll give me a call on 228-5562 or 228-5563. You're going to be winning a case of water. Water is good for you. You drink enough and you're good to go. So let's see. What's the question for today? The question is, name for me three bottle sizes of Bajan pure water. Name for me three bottle sizes of NPure of the Bajan pure water. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Call me now and let me see what you know. And if you get it right, then you get a chance to win a case of water. Delicious water indeed. Your body is primarily water. You need to make sure that you constantly rehydrate. It helps with your cooling of your body as well. 228-5562. 228-5563. Name three bottle sizes of Bajan pure water. Good morning to you. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm okay.
Oh, wonderful. What's your answer?
You got three sizes of water.
I need for you to name three.
I know for sure there's the 500 bottle of water. There's one that is like I think the chubby drink, chubby size.
I need a size.
Three. I think that's 355.
Go ahead.
And then there is the oblongish one, the oblong 1.5 liter.
Wait, you guessing this, or were you searching while you were talking?
Yeah, I think that's 1.5 liter. Yeah, because there's a bigger sports cap that have 1.5 liter. Yeah.
Oh, so that is your logic to figuring out the sizes.
Yeah.
So there's one that the size. See, your final answer to me then, sir, is 355 mil. You said to me the 500 mil and the 1.5 liter. That's what you said to me, right?
Yes.
Are there any other sizes at all?
They have I think the gallon bottle, the big gallon, 5 gallon.
I'm missing. Anything else?
The 5 gallon, and there's a little small one you hold with the handle. I think that's the 5 liter.
Jeez, boy, you're on point. You're on point. Thank you so much. You're absolutely right. You are spot on indeed. I wish that you enjoy your Bajan pure water, and congratulations to you. Stay on the phone. We have some details to take from you as well. So well done, sir. Well done indeed. He's the winner today. That's the information. You can get the 355 mil, the 500 mil, the 1.5 liter, the 5 liter, the one with the handle, he says, and the 5 gallon bottle of water, Bajan pure water. Get it today in your nearest convenient shopping location. We'll take a break right here. When we come back, we start to meet some exceptional young people. Stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
14 minutes after 7 o'clock, let's get started by meeting some exceptional young people. One who is a Hay ambassador with a very focal point on Africa. And he hails from there, as a matter of fact. His name is Yazid Mikhail. Good morning to you, Yazid.
Good morning.
Good to have you. I was reading your story and you said that you've come from a place where the only source of heating and cooking for women is firewood. And that was part of what inspired you to take on the environment as part of your life's mission. Talk to me about that beginning and what it meant to see that being the only source of heating and cooking, firewood.
Okay, thank you so much for asking that question, and it's absolutely a pleasure for me to be on Good Morning Barbados. Talking about what inspires me and talking from the Firewood Project, the community I hail from is a community where they have no access to efficient energy for cooking. The only means of heating and cooking is firewood, and that results to high number of deforestation because cutting trees for cooking accounted for over 40% deforestation in my community. So as a result of that, the green cover of the community has been lost due to the high rate of deforestation. What even inspired me more to start the environmental advocacy and activism is the negative health impact the emission from the firewood has on the woman health. In our community, you see women battling from asthma, you see them, and little children facing such diseases because their parents go near to the firewood with them. All those things are things that inspired me and let me understand the ground meaning of environmental impact. That's why I started my journey as an environmentalist.
So since you've noticed all of those things and started your journey, what changes have you seen over time?
Okay, there's this recent project I worked on, and I'm most proud of it. I work in a team of 5 policy advocates in my country to work to mobilize resources for the implementation of the state I am from, which is Kaduna State Environmental Policy, with specific target on scaling up the UNDP JEF project, which is basically on distributing efficient cook stove for women in rural communities. And in my community, we've been able to distribute over 50 efficient means of cooking to household, build over 10,000 of trees in some projects we've done before. So that alone is something I'm really proud of because we've been able to tackle the problem from almost 2 angles: the angle of deforestation and the angle of efficient means of cooking. So we're solving the issue. We're solving the issue from both rounds.
You know, you could talk and hope that people hear and feel it to want to make a change. But you decided instead to advocate for policy using data and information. Tell me how you go about doing that and who do you interact with so that you get real action?
Okay, first, I have a policy background from a fellowship I concluded, so I know the impact of using data to make informed decision. I know how to work and meaningfully engage stakeholders. I have this experience in community engagement. That really helped me a lot in digging out data, and I understand the people I'm engaging, both my primary and secondary stakeholders. So I understand the community from the community perspective and from the stakeholder perspective. So it makes it a lot easier for me to work with my team to influence the policy, and it's make a lot of impact on them because we go to the community, we document whatever they are going through, and being part of the community make it more accessible for me. Then we drafted a policy brief and a fact sheet. Then we go to the policymakers, present it to them, and let them understand that this is really what is going on in the community. And most importantly, we also launched a documentary of that community we went to, which was really amazing. And the result of our policy advocacy led to increase in budgetary allocation in the sector we're advocating for, which we are really proud of, and the other groundwork we do. So we use that data, both the quantitative and qualitative data, to effectively communicate with our policymakers and tell them the ground the impact of what we found from our community engagement and other initiatives we've implemented in the country.
There are young people who would say, oftentimes the adult will look at you and think, okay, that's very nice. Thank you so much for meeting with me. Thank you. And it goes into shelf 13. Nobody takes any action thereafter. Do you get that feel sometimes as you engage with those who are older than yourselves, who are policy makers now, that they are actively listening and are actively wanting to make a change?
Oh, okay. I really connected with you when you said young people stating something and they just listen to them. Sometimes they just bring them on the desk for the fact that yes, young people are represented, but they are not being heard, which is really a challenge for us as young people. You understand? So, what I try to do is there is this thing I always advocate for: meaningful engagement of young people. You can't engage young person by just by the picture of that person saying, hey, yeah, if they are seated, they are represented, without meaningfully engaging them. Meaningful engagement has to do with listening to them, documenting whatever they said, and making sure that they are part of the decision-making process. So in the course of I faced that challenge. Well, I faced that challenge at the beginning, but when I later discovered that, okay, I need to do more, maybe build my capacity in terms of different intricacies in policy advocacies and things you need to do to be at the front. Yes, and I think that's what young people need to do. They build personal relationship, even the policy makers, and create other ways they can use to meaningful engage them, ensure that their voices are being heard and they are being part of the decision making. Though that's not supposed to be the ideal, but since we do not have it for now, we just have to sort of, not really manipulation, but work our ways around it to ensure that yes, we are part of decision making.
This passion for the environment has been birthed in you, Yazid, and sometimes you can feel so lonely, as if it's just me. And especially where you live in Africa, where it's a huge number of people, and you're wondering to yourself, is anyone else like me? How have you been able to find company, and where do you find company so that you're inspired to keep going?
Okay, this is really true. This is really true, especially when you keep going and you keep going and you do not see maybe you do not see you being engaged by stakeholders and your voice is not being heard. So I do three things, I would say. The first thing I do is remember why I started, the people I started because of, and the impact it has on them. That's my major regression point. I'll just go back to that point and reconnect the dots, and before you know, I get motivated. And one of the places I love doing that is when I connect more with nature, right? I go to maybe a green covered environment in part of my community. I just walk myself around it, or go close to an ocean. When I go there, I just kind of reflect on why I even started in the beginning. I didn't start it because of any other purpose, but just to save life and ensure that there is improved livelihood and the impact on these people is mitigated, or they have built adaptation and just for resilience community. So that's one thing I used to do. And another thing I used to do is I connect with people we share purpose with. Yes, there are other young people in my community, in my country as well, that are doing the same thing, facing some similar challenges. So when we come together, we relate, develop solution. That way I get motivated and I get myself, I get the company I want. And the third one is, one of the ways I get those company is if I think that people are not thinking in the way I am thinking, then there is a problem. There is need for me to create the ripple effect of the knowledge and experiences I've had in engaging policymakers and other people. So when I sit people down, teach them about it, there was a time I think I can't do it alone. So my team went to form a coalition of civil society, youth-led organization leaders. Then I facilitated a session to build their capacity on strategic policy communication, just to ensure that yes, we have one voice going towards this direction and saying the same thing. So that way I was able to, communicating what the experiences you have with other people, and seeing how they are so much interested in doing the groundwork and implementing what you teach them. I so much find company in doing that.
How old are you, is that Yazid?
I'm 21. Yeah, 21.
21 years old, and you're passionate, well-spoken about the environment. What are you studying to support all of this? What else are you doing?
Okay, academically, I'm studying chemical engineering with major focus. I want to focus more on energy because of where I started from, right? And I currently I'm currently part of many fellowship. I'm currently part of the Kaduna State Data Science Fellowship, which is basically helping the Kaduna State government, that's the state I am from, with towards ensuring its data revolution. So the data science fellow, as a data science fellow, I help the state in developing some data management strategy and some initiative to ensure that the state is going towards the right direction in achieving its data revolution. And I basically work on the intersection between data and health, ensuring that there is this enough data on health. And remember where I started from, the health impact of the emissions from firewood on women. So being in this really helped me, and I hope to also leverage on that to sort of improve my career prospect in delving into the energy going forward. So that is basically it, and I am so much committed when it comes to personal and professional development, because I think it is very important and relevant for me as young people to stay relevant in the field of advocacy or policy making. You have to be constantly committed to improving daily. So I take a lot of online courses from Harvard University, from world-class universities, so just to improve and strengthen my capacity in whatever I'm seeing, so that whenever I want to say it, I have data to back it up. Whenever I say it, I have a place that I would say I had it from this place, and that way it's anytime I want to say something to stakeholders and policymakers, they take it very important, because they know that you're not just saying it for saying sake. You have data, you have evidence, you have on-ground experience, and you have a lot of things to say this. They tend to act upon it because they know that this is the kind of person saying this.
Yazid Mikhail, you are such an inspiration. Honestly, just sitting and listening to you share in the way that you've shared says to me that you are very clear in your mind what it is that you're seeking to achieve based upon what you have been able to experience personally, and that propels you to keep going forward. You are, for us, one of the exceptional young people of the world, and it's truly been our pleasure to meet with you this morning here on Morning Barbados from Barbados. You're there in Africa. By the way, what do you know of Barbados?
Okay, I've had opportunity to work with about 2 people from Barbados. First, the Hey campaign, where I work as their regional focal point representing Africa, where I work with other young people from African countries to develop and implement project on the intersection between climate change and health. So through their leadership, right, the leadership of the people whom I work with, I get to realize that Barbados is a country that has this compassionate and passionate people about whatever cause they choose to do in their life, especially the young people. Because aside from this, I have a very beautiful friend whom we work on an advisory board with her to support young people from across the world with funding. So her name is Alaniata. You've once had her on this Good Morning Barbados. She is brilliant. She is committed to whatever she is going to do or doing for her community. There is this community association they have in them and passion to make change happens wherever they are. So from the leadership of the people whom I work with on the Hey campaign and my good friend Alaniata, I get to realize that Barbados is definitely a place I would always want to be sometimes, and it will be an absolute pleasure to be there someday. So yeah, it's really a cool and amazing environment, I would say.
Well, thank you. Thank you for those lovely words, indeed. Yazid Mikhail, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Continue doing well. What you are already doing so well, success is only yours to reach. Thank you so much for joining us this morning as an exceptional young man. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. It's an absolute pleasure.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, we're going to take a break right here. We're coming back with you being able to unscramble some letters, so get ready to give me a call in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Alrighty now, time for you to unscramble some letters. I have a couple words already all scrambled up. I can't wait to share them with you because your job is to unscramble them, and your job is also to give me a call and let me know what you've discovered. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Take a look. There you go. Take a look. See those letters right there? They actually form a word. They actually form a word. So you tell me the word you think you can make using these scrambled letters, and then you give me a call, 228-5562 or 228-5563. What word do you think can be made by your unscrambling of the letters on your screen? So 228-5562 or 228-5563, the numbers to call to tell me the word you see. Like it. 228-5562 or 63. So unscramble the letters and tell me what word you can actually make. It's a simple word. Simple word. And let's see how easy it is for you to be able to figure it all out. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Of course, once you come on the line, we'll have a little bit of a conversation. So don't rush the brush. We shall have a little bit of a conversation, you and me. So 228-5562 and 228-5563, the numbers to call me now. Good morning, hello.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, how are you?
I am well, thanks, and you?
Oh, I'm fantastic, thank you for asking. What's your first name and what parish are you watching from?
Kim, I'm from St. Philip.
Hello, Kim of St. Philip. So how are you doing today, Kim?
I am doing wonderful.
Oh, that's so wonderful to hear. What do you mean by you're doing wonderful? What does that mean?
That I have life and health this morning, and I'm feeling great.
Have you had your water or breakfast yet?
Not as yet.
Why not? Why not, Kim?
I'll soon do that. I'm getting ready for work, but I'll soon do that before I go to the door.
But how could you all do that? I can't do that. I can't get up, get ready for something, and then have breakfast. Just can't. I have to get up, have the breakfast, and then get ready. Is this your normal rhythm, your normal routine? Get up, get ready, and then have breakfast?
I get up, get ready, have some water before I go to the door, and then I have my breakfast when I get to work.
And is your mother happy with your routine? Doesn't know. She would rather you sit at the table and have some breakfast first, right? Right, Kim?
Yeah.
See what I tell you? All right, Kim of St. Philip. What word do you see?
Stadium.
Kim, well done. You're absolutely right. That was easy, wasn't it?
Pardon?
That was easy, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Aha. Can we flip the letters? Let me see how quick Kim can be. Can we flip and bring up another word? Keep Kim on the phone for just a minute. Kim thinks that she's a genius. Kim, what do you see? You see the change?
Not as yet.
What came? What are you watching? You're not using MCTV. I know that.
Oh, I know see that word.
Right. So what is it? Let me hear you fast. I give you 10 seconds. 10, 9,
You put
8.
me under the pressure.
I know, that's right. 6, 5,
Are you coming
4,
to me?
3, 2,
Something bottom?
1.
No.
You done?
No. No.
Kim Galau over
Okay,
here.
bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So, folks, now this is a new word on the screen. Can you figure this one out? 228-5562 or 228-5563 can be as sharp as Kim. You let me know. 228-5562 or 63. There's a new set of words scrambled on your screen, and I want you to unscramble those letters, all right? New set of letters. So unscramble it, and let's see what you get. Good morning. Hello.
Hi, good morning, person.
Hi. How are you?
I'm fine. It's a long time I haven't talked to you.
Really? Who is this?
This is Shadriana, your favorite student from law school.
Shadriana girl, how you doing?
I'm fine, and you?
I am doing well. You see this big smile on my big face? don't laugh at me. Don't laugh at me. So Shadriana, so how has the morning been so far for you?
It's been alright, yeah, I could say. It's been alright, ups and downs, but
yes.
I'm doing great.
That is wonderful to hear. Life is like that, you know. Life takes you up and down, and then eventually the road gets smooth again. But you learn how to ride those potholes, all right? That's what you learn through life. Good. What word do you see?
I see. Well, I don't know how true this is, but...
Shadriana?
Hi, person.
Somebody's telling you something. Go ahead. Tell me what they told you.
I see bootman, but you know.
Let me hear it. Bootman. B-O-O-T-M-A-N. Bootman?
Yes.
Yeah.
Bootman.
I mean, you could form a word like that, but that's not the word I'm looking for. Shadriana. But thank you for trying, though, okay? Have a good morning. Thank you. Bye-bye.
You too.
Take care now. Bye-bye. That's not the word I'm looking for. I mean, it's a good try. That's not the word I'm looking for. So come on, give me a call quickly, 228-5562 or 228-5563. Let's take this call. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Hello. How are you?
I am good.
Oh, that is so wonderful to hear. How old are you?
I am 9 years old.
Congratulations. When was your birthday?
I did not hear you.
Sorry, when was your birthday?
My birthday is December the 7th, 2020.
December the 7th?
Yes,
December the 7th. Okay. Well, I am born in January, so I'm born just after you.
Yes, please. Thank you.
All right. What's your first name?
My first name is Madison.
Madison?
Yes, please.
Madison, what school do you go to?
I did not hear you.
What school do you go to?
St. Mary's Primary School.
St. Mary's. All righty. Are you enjoying your vacation so far?
Yes, please.
Oh, really now? What have you been up to?
I did not hear you.
What kinds of things have you been doing while on vacation?
I mean playing on my tablet and doing my homework.
Ooh, that's right. Keep studying, keep pressing on. Have some fun, though. Always remember to have some fun. It's a time to just relax and have a little bit of fun. So tell me now, what word do you think we can make when we unscramble these letters on the screen at the moment? What do you think word we can make?
Obama.
Obama?
Yes, please.
No. That's not the word at all. But thank you for trying and enjoy the rest of your vacation, all right?
Yes, please. Thank you.
All right, bye-bye. Bye-bye. Say it again for me. All right, folks. No, we're going to hold this word for another time, and we'll give you another chance to unravel it at another time. We'll take a break right here. We're coming back to meet even more exceptional young people. Stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We have 20 minutes now to go to the hour of 8 o'clock. This next exceptional youth is multi-talented. We're happy to introduce you today to Jaleel Arthur. That's his government name. But he also goes by the name of Ace Kid. Good morning to you, Jaleel.
Good morning. Morning.
Which do you prefer, the government name or your other name?
I guess you could use both, but preferably Ace. Ace.
All right, so Ace is what I'll be calling you out for the rest of the interview. Talk to me about the multiple things that you do, Ace, because you're into photography, videography, graphic designing, and you're also now a recording artist. So talk to me about the inspiration to be so creative.
Okay, so basically it all starts when I was 4 years old. And watching stuff like Spider-Man, Toy Story, Cars. Well, not Cars at the time, but mostly Spider-Man and dinosaurs. So I took an interest in that, and I started doodling on pieces of paper and what's not. And my dad, he saw that, and he continued to push me and made sure I harness the talent I was I guess growing up into, in a sense. So from doodling Spider-Man and getting better at it, and then moving on to drawing other things when I got older, Toy Story and Transformers, everything else. I took an interest in that. Was always drawing, and take a piece of paper, print it from my mother's printer, and just sit down and just draw it.
I'm sure she wasn't pleased with that at all. You listen, that's my paper that I bought, that I need for printing, and here it is, you're doing all of your creative work. But they saw within you something that made them think, we really need to support this young man. Jaleel wants now, because that's what I'm sure that what they were calling you, Jaleel wants to pursue this. And so you saw an opportunity at the Barbados Community College to take a whole lot more seriously. Talk to me about deciding to enroll there to do your degree in that.
Okay, so from secondary school, I got much better, as in from first form to fifth form, and my art teacher encouraged me to enroll in the visual arts program at BCC. So I did that, and then throughout first year and then going into second year in BCC, I just learned more stuff about the art, more so than drawing and painting, I guess. Learn stuff like pottery making and graphic, well, not the computer graphic design, but more so the the graphic design that you do by hand and what's not. So first year and second year, we just focus more on that, and then not second year, first we focus on the artistic aspect of it, and the second year we went on to some students split. So one set of students did visual arts, which is pencil drawing and everything else, and charcoal and stuff, and the second set of students did computer graphics and what's not. So I took more of an interest in computer graphics because I was yo, that's so cool, I could create art on the computer. And commercially, that is also I made that choice because it's in Barbados nowadays, art is not already appreciated, I would say. So I was saying if I can channel my creativeness into doing something that can help people in terms of logos and posters and what's not, that's where I made the decision to go that route. So then going into bachelor graphic design program, that's where I took it a little further.
And a lot of that has helped you to be able to brand shirts and those kinds of things. And then you, of course, you pick up your camera and you do some videography as well. So tell me now about this decision to start to become an artist. What's going on there? How did you get to that now?
In terms of recording music?
Yes.
Okay, so it might seem, it's a funny story. When I was younger, I always loved music, from the time I was young. But when I was younger, my mom had given me her old iPad to use because she had bought a new one at the time. So the iPad has this program on it called GarageBand. It's a lesser, I guess, a less technical version of it than what is on the laptop that I use. I used to play around with like the drum kits on it and like different synths and pianos and guitars and whatnot. And I was like, this is actually kind of fun. I actually sound like I'm making something of this, right?
Yes.
So like, I paused that for a little bit because I think the iPad had stopped working. And like, fast forwarding into, I guess, the pandemic in 2020, I was like bored at home one day looking for something to do. So like after listening to one of my favorite artists, I was like, let me try something, along those lines, or let me try to do this, or let me see if I can get this done as well. I already had the singing ear, I already had the musical ear because I could hear stuff that's like, I guess some people can't. My mother
Not that we know about you already, but with all of that, you are hugely multi-talented, and is this a decision you've taken to pursue this as your life's profession, or is it something you'll do alongside another kind of a job?
Mostly every talent that I have right now coming together to create like one, I guess, a career or one. It's called one personality in a sense. So 1 minute I could be doing graphic design, or next minute I could be like working on a cruise or something, doing camera work, or an event doing camera work. So it's like, it doesn't matter what it is, whatever I'm doing, something will come into play.
Yes.
In a sense.
But it is therefore now is left to Ace to form Ace Multimedia whatever company. And I'm sure that's all part of your life's mission as it goes. For anyone watching who wants now to experience the work that you've already done, where can we go find and see your work?
Which work?
All of your work. All of your work.
My Instagram is at ace_KHIDD_ on Instagram. You can go on YouTube and look for my other songs. And my other songs are on like stuff like Apple Music and Spotify and Amazon Music and Tidal. Every other streaming platform that people normally use, my songs are on there. So I have like a total of 6 projects out in a sense.
You're busy, and you're only 24 years old. 24 years old, busy as a bee, former student of the Aline School, and so we salute you this morning as one of our exceptional young people, exceptional young men of Barbados. And I deliberately said young men because oftentimes the perception is that our young men are idle, and you're saying, no, you buck that perception. You are a very actively engaged with society young man. I thank you so much for joining with us this morning. Yes, well done.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Jaleel, Arthur, good morning to you indeed. Thank you for coming through.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Note the location to find his work on Instagram. He is at ace_KHIDD_. And on YouTube, you just simply look for Ace, ACE. Experience his work. Book him even because he does phenomenal work. And he's a musical artist as well. We'll take a break here. When we come back, we'll meet the Monarchs on Mornin Barbados.
It takes two to tango, hope it's so. When I see you smile, you have a glow. Arrive late to the party, you're without me, how can it be? You told me you're alone when I called you on the phone. Now I'm in the corner in the room, looking like a goon. Can't believe that you didn't tell me. Some guy showed you a good time, hoping I don't gotta get in line for a chance to show you I'm the one you need. But can you listen, please?
10 minutes to go to 8 o'clock last Saturday night. If you were not there, I hope you listened on the radio. I hope you watched it on TV as well, because we had really good competition in the Scotia Bank Junior Monarch competition for 2022. We have the winners with us this morning. We have with us Shante, better otherwise known as Tay, and Ahanji Daniel, who is known as Ahanji. Good morning, both of you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Let me start with you, Ahanji. You kicked off the competition in this Calypso category. First of all, congratulations on being the Junior Calypso Monarch for Barbados. You were first on stage. Were you scared?
No, I wasn't. Pretty composed. I think that this is the first year I actually went on stage, actually putting into practice everything that I would have learned over the years and in rehearsals. So I was pretty ready, I would say.
You know, I did radio commentary for that final, and I have to agree with you. You were very ready, composed, and performed as the consummate performer as well. I love your transitions. Your transitions. Talk to me about planning that between verse to verse to verse, and how you were able to execute it so seamlessly.
Okay, so I thought that, you know, you don't want people thinking too hard about the subject matter. So visually bringing it together, I talked to Auntie Jen from Dance in Africa, and she sent some of her girls, and she said, you know, that is an easy fix. We at first were considering layering, but the chance of malfunctions was a little, you know, too high. So I was saying, okay, so it makes more sense to use the dancers, use movement to make the transitions. So that's how that came about.
It was
so 2-3 rehearsals later. Yes, please. That's
so
how we got that happening.
I'm telling you, it worked so beautifully, and we got it because that transition allowed us to understand each verse, and we got a chance to really see how each verse connected with the overall theme. And so you no doubt went home feeling very happy with your overall performance on that night.
Yes, I did, but I also, you know, was very humbled by it because I also know what it feels like to come last. So the win was, the win was, you know, put me right in that humble state of mind.
Yes, very good. And we just saw one of the transitions there where the dancers came on and just slipped off the tie and put on the jacket, and you became now the teacher. And you talked about how the pandemic has affected those who are in the teaching profession as well. You dealt with the medical profession, you dealt with the student, you dealt with so many areas in just one song. And I really want to commend you on that excellent work that you did on Saturday night. The future is yours now, you know that. You can do so much more. Are you going to, because you're only 18 years old, you know, you still have one more year as a teenager. Are you prepared to re-enter the competition?
Well, I can't. That was my last what I can do though is perform in the Pick the Rock competition come that season.
Okay.
So I most definitely will continue on that trajectory.
Lovely, lovely indeed. I hope so. And then there was Tay. Tay, you were the last on the stage in the Soca Monarch competition. And I remember again from where I sat when you came onto the stage, and there was such an energy from you. And I kept hearing this voice behind me singing along to your song. And I'm thinking, who could that possibly be? So I glanced back, and who was it? Natalie. Natalie was right there behind me singing along. I just supporting you all the way through. So tell me how it felt to have been the last and to have brought that Party Nice Again song.
Well, originally I honestly wanted to sing last. When we had our draw for numbers, I'm not sure if you saw my reaction, but I freaked out and had to contain myself. When I honestly wanted to sing last because it was like my arrangement, it was basically a tribute to John Doe at the same time. So I was like, yeah, I want to end the show with a bang, I want to end the show with a party. So I went with a theme to bring neon colors, bring a whole glow party, glow sticks, everything. But performing my song was really fun. It honestly, the beginning made me tear up. I don't know why, and I was the one singing it, but yeah.
Yes. But it was an outstanding performance as well. I mean, the audience leapt to their feet when you were singing and dancing as well. And so, you know, right away we got the idea. But putting together a party song can't be easy because there's so many elements to the party you can get wrong. So talk to me about that.
Well, my management team, we it took a while to figure out what we wanted to do visually on stage. But after we got the idea, it was like, boom, bang, we had to cut out some aspects and put in new parts to it. But all together, it came together beautifully. It was amazing. It didn't take too long at all. And it was just rehearsing from there and getting accustomed to it.
So how would you do, are you really into soca, or are you rather just calypso in general? What is your preferred genre?
Just calypso in general, because commentary, I love commentary just as much as I love soca. It's not that I love one more than the other, because the whole art form is just so beautiful. It has so many amazing aspects, and it's just like my culture, I guess. So yeah.
What advice would you give, Tay, to other young females, other young people who are watching today, who are thinking, I want to do that too? What would you say to them?
I would say go after it, because it's not necessarily a lot of work, but you have to be determined. Because if you stop, that's the moment where your greatest success would have come into play. So after these years of trying out genres, I tried reggae, I tried R&B, pop. I never stopped. I just kept going, and that's where the success got bigger from there. So keep going, and know that any advice that you get in your life, pick out what is for you and leave what isn't.
So the results came back, Tay, and it was between Tay and Trinity Clark. Were you really, really nervous? And how did it feel then to hear Trinity came second? What went through you at that point?
So, because both of our names, well, not necessarily names, but my stage name is Tay and hers is Trinity.
Yes.
I was like, oh my God. So when Joanne Manning said vibes, I was like, oh, okay. Because I honestly lost hope in the end.
Yes.
I was like, she got the edge on me there. But when I heard that she came second, I was like, okay, I did it. All my hard work paid off. I'm like, there's your moment, girl. Go get it.
Go get it, indeed. Ahanji, what about you? Because it then came down to you and someone else, Ahanji, and you sat there, no doubt your heart was pumping because you know you're so close, so close, and just keep your fingers crossed. How did it feel to know that you became the monarch?
Okay, so I was excited, of course, but I also, just lived in the moment. I think that's the most important part. When I was crowned monarch, I went over to the girl that placed second, Aaliyah, and I hugged her because that was both of our last year in competition. So, anyway it went, it would have been big.
Yes.
So for me, I was just embracing the moment for what it was. I just, took it as it came.
Listen, I wanted so badly to talk to both of you. I'm so glad I got the opportunity to talk to both of you. Indeed, I was very, very pleased with the result, and I'm very happy to engage with you again today. So congratulations to the Junior Calypso Monarch, Ahanji, Daniel, and congratulations to Tay, the Junior Soca Monarch for 2022. We have 2 winners already, and we're happy to feature you here on Morning Barbados. Congratulations, and the stars are now yours to reach. Keep going. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome indeed. You're welcome. 2 lovely young ladies, 2 junior monarchs. Who will be the pick of the crop winner? We will find out in just a little bit as well. That's it for today, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. My producer has been Alicia Asgrant, technical director Roel Ford. Sound has been Christopher Blenman, and master control Tamisha Green and Pearson Boyne. For all of them, to each of you, have a good morning. We'll see you tomorrow.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning.